Hi everyone, I'm here with Birgit Peetz, who is a coach and trainer for small and medium enterprises. And she is focusing on the area of men and women in the work sphere. Um, she's also a soul-based coach in training, and I'm very happy to have this conversation with her. Of course, in this series about how do we navigate these stormy times. Birgit, how do you navigate these stormy times? What would you like to share with us about that?
Yeah, um, there's a lot I could say, but let me say it in a nutshell. I try to lead a healthy lifestyle, and I also, um, and that includes movement like sports, nutrition, sleep, avoidance of stress, and dealing with stress when it occurs and having like leading a life of purpose. These are some of the most important building blocks
Mm.
that, yeah, most people probably have heard of, and we read about them. That is good if you do that. And sometimes it can be hard to live by
Yeah,
those
absolutely.
things.
How do you help yourself do these things when it's not easy?
Mm, when it's not easy, I try to become as still as it's possible in that moment and reconnect with myself and figure out what's going on inside and perhaps outside. And figuring out what would be a good thing to do now. Like, what is it that this person system needs? And it could be, I don't know, going for a walk, taking a short break, working out, eating or drinking something, connecting with people. Could be all sorts of things. But that's what I do. I try to become still for at least a short while and see what's going on.
Mm. And when you become still for that short while, um, oh, that's so interesting. So many things happening in me. When you become still for that short while, and you ask, what does this person, this system need right now? Is the answer ever like 2 kilos of chocolate or a whole evening of scrolling through whatever Netflix, or like is that ever an answer that comes up in your system?
sometimes, sometimes it is the first answer, or like at least like something like that can be the first answer. And at the same time, I notice, okay, that is only the topmost layer, but there's a real need behind that. And I'm trying to go one or two levels down to drill down.
Nice. Okay. So becoming still, what does this person, this system need? And then not just listening to the first level answer, but also like the next maybe 2 layers down answer. Mm.
There's usually an impulse, but the impulse answer is also usually not the thing that this or our system really needs.
I like that. I like how aware of it you are now. That's really, really helpful. I was also caught by what you were saying earlier about leading a life of purpose. You want to say a little bit more about that?
Yeah, that's something that has been with me for, I don't know, 15, 20 years. And I found that the more I live my life following my inner truth, my sometimes also intuition, the better it gets. It doesn't mean that sometimes, you know, it can go down and, then up again. But I find that the more I can live a life of purpose, it has a lot of benefits, not just for me as a person, but also for what I can bring to the world. My job is to enable personal or organizational change, and I want to do that to support people, because I know from my own experience that it's not always something that is so easy to bring about.
Hmm. Yeah, gorgeous. And so, how do you know whether something is part of living your life of purpose?
Wow, that's a good
It's a
question.
small question.
Um, there are probably many answers to that. One of them is that I've been on a quest for purpose for a long time, as I said. And so already a long time ago, there was something, it wasn't exactly a vision board, but it was some kind of things I wrote down with images, how my ideal life would be. And year after year, I managed to add to that and to live more like that visual A4 page that I created at the time. So if things repeat, like if a desire or something I would like to have happen comes back to me again and again and again, then usually it's something that feels like purpose. And purpose can also be very short term. It's not always, it's not something that must be stable throughout the entire life. It can be something that may just be a purpose for, I don't know, for a day or for a few months.
Beautiful. I think why it resonates so much with me is that for me, soul-based coaching um, is helping people so much to stay very close to their sense of purpose. And it makes such a big difference. So I really recognize what you're saying and how much of a difference that can make. Yeah, definitely gives me an inner steer, like an inner drive for direction through my days. Mm.
Yeah, only this morning I had a talk with somebody who also went through to your soul-based academy, a trained coach, and as we worked together, I realized there's a metaphor that I developed like 5 years ago or so, or 4 years ago, when I went through the Invoke training, and this metaphor is still with me, and it's something that has come back every now and again, and it's something I can feel. It's something that is not just like a rational concept, but it's something that's part of this system somehow, and it helps me navigate life. And that is also part of keeping on purpose, keep living on purpose.
Mm. Oh, powerful. That's a great example. Yes, our inner metaphors can be such clear directors, such clear guides as to where we put our attention and our energy. Mm, beautiful. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Birgit, where can people find you if they want to know more about what you can do?
Well, people can find me on the internet and on LinkedIn. My website is Peetz Coaching. That is, we'll we might link it actually. It might be easier to read than to spell. And yeah, and there's a contact page and people can find me there. I'm happy to get to know people and see, if there's some area in which we can work together.
Gorgeous. And who should do that? Who can you help? Who do you work with?
I mainly work with people in small and medium enterprises. So it's usually the company or the HR departments that hire me. And I work on the subject, as you said before, like men, woman differences, issues to do with that, even transgression and abuse of power. But also for other related topics that happen in professional life, like professional reorientation or career development, conflict resolution, of course, dealing with stress and the like.
All right, great. Thank you very much, Birgit. So, for you, how to navigate these storms, it's very much about living a healthy life, all the aspects that that comes with, taking that moment to be still and to notice what is it that this system needs in this moment and going through maybe that extra layer. And then there is the living a life of purpose and having a clear direction into which you know that you want to move.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And thank you, everyone. Let us know what your strategies are, how you do this navigating of the storms. We love to hear from you. All right. Bye bye, everyone.